Okay guys, so what we're going to do right now is go through if statements and if else statements. So if statements are really about asking the computer a question about something that's going on in your program, right? So for example, maybe we have this small program where we want to test ages and we want to make sure that these two ages are above 15 and below 35, let's say. So what we can do is we can write if statements. And to write an if statement is very easy. You just write the word if and you open some brackets. And it's inside these brackets that you're going to ask the question using a conditional like we did in previous videos. So for example, I might do something like this. Age 1 is less than, no, if age 1 is less than 15, like so, and or age 1 is greater than 35, system.out.println, and we're going to say print age 1 is invalid, like so. If I press play, nothing prints, but if I now make this 14, let's say, age 1 is invalid occurs. So I'll set that back to 20. Now, you might want to ask more than one question. You might want to actually chain these if statements. And to do so, you can actually add an else if, like so. And the else if statement means if this is not true, attempt to do the next conditional. If this ends up being true, the else if will never happen, right? So maybe we'll say else if age 2 is less than 15, or age 2 is greater than 40, system.out, I'm going to just copy paste this, system.out.println age 2 is invalid, right? So now if we press play, we get age 2 is invalid. But if I were to make this 14 again, now age 1 is going to be invalid and we're not going to get the age 2 message, right? Because what happens is this is true, age 1 is under 15 or over 35, and so age 1 is invalid. Now the last thing to know about an if statement is that you do have like a final else statement, and if you write else, it means that if all of these conditionals are false in this chain, then this will occur instead. I'll print line and we'll print all ages are valid, right? So let's just test this. So right now, age 1 is invalid. If I make age 1 valid, age 2 is invalid. If I make age 2 valid, all ages are valid. And that's really it. That's all an if statement is. The cool thing about an if statement, though, is that you can chain the else ifs. So I could write another else if in here, and I could write as many as I want and be able to test as many things as I want in a row. You just have to remember that the first thing is going to get tested first. So if any of the things above are true, this part will never happen. Just to show you this, I'll say if age 2 equals 20, system.println happened, right? Happened. Because this is false, but this is true. And so this is what gets used. This is super important, and you're going to use this a lot, so get yourself familiar with if statements. That's it for now. If you want to see more student-made content or more tutorials, make sure to check out the TVM YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.